Lavalier microphones are extraordinarily versatile, but often users don't know the simple tricks to get the best sound out of their lavaliers and even sabotage their sounds without even knowing it. That is why we are going to show you 5 easy lavalier tips and tricks to ensure you get the best sound from your lavalier microphones. Things like lavalier positioning, handling cable noise, setting your levels, storage and care, and having the essentials you need. The first tip we would like to talk about is positioning. The trick is finding the optimum position or sweet spot, usually centered on the chest, between 6 to 8 inches from the subject's mouth. Too far up will make the voice sound muffled because the mic is shadowed by the chin, and too far down will make the voice sound thinner and less dynamic. Every subject's voice, physique, and clothing are different, so start with the positioning 6 to 8 inches from the mouth, and then experiment with placement as the subject speaks. Have your subject speak naturally as you position the mic. Don't just ask them to say, check, check. Ask them something that will get them talking naturally, like, tell me about your first car. This is a subject most people have a lot to say about, and it's not forced or awkward. Remember, lavaliers are sensitive, so a difference of a few inches will drastically change the sound of the mic. A few seconds spent positioning the mic to find that sweet spot will give you a much clearer, natural vocal sound that you are looking for. Once you find that sweet spot, mount your microphone. If you're having trouble with vocal plosives, pops, or breathing, you can even mount your microphone upside down to further guard against this. Now that we have talked about the importance of positioning, let's discuss cable noise. Cable noise can be a real issue for lavaliers. Simple body movements can cause big noise issues if the cable is not properly secured. This is what it can sound like when cable noise comes into play. And major jerks on the cable can outright ruin a recording or pull off the mic entirely. While there are many ways and products that reduce or eliminate these issues, a few simple tricks can solve these issues before they come up. The first way is to create a broadcast loop by wrapping the cable into the clip. By doing this, it provides much needed strain relief. When there is a slight tug or movement of the cable, the strain is absorbed by the clip. Some lav clips even have a cable strain relief mount, but you can just as easily mount the cable in any clip's clamp. The second way is to create a strain relief loop. Loosely make a hoop in the cable about 2 to 4 inches below the mic itself. Then, with a small strip of cloth gaff tape, sticky side out, loosely fasten the hoop so the cable moves freely within the loop. Using a small piece of string would work as well. The third way is to purchase lavalier cable management tools, like cable holders to securely mount the cable to the clothing, or rubber cable springs to absorb those tugs and pulls. The fourth way is to use tape to secure the cable down the interior of the clothing or on the skin. A couple of short strips 3 to 4 inches, one at the top and one at the bottom, will secure the cable and prevent unnecessary cable noise. So now that our talent is properly mic'd up, let's talk about setting levels. You could have the best microphones and the best camera or recorder in the world, but if you overload the inputs, it will sound terrible. Here's what an overloaded mic input sounds like. We are going to show you how to avoid this. When you look at the audio meters on a camera or recorder, you will see the audio levels in decibels or dB, usually ranging from -40 dB or lower to 0 dB. 0 dB is what we call reference level. I could go on and on about the technical side of this, but it is not vital to great sound. What is vital is to know that 0 dB is the absolute top input level these devices can handle before they distort. So how do you set up your lavs so they don't distort? It's easy. Have your subject speak normally, like before. As they speak, raise the input level of the camera, recorder, or mixer until you are seeing the meter consistently peak at about -10 dB to -8 dB. Then have your subject speak very loudly. If the meter is consistently peaking above -3 dB, turn the level down slightly until -3 dB is the peak. To ensure their mics never distort, most professionals have their absolute peak at -3 dB. This is what we'd suggest as well. But remember, the meters are just one tool. You should always trust your ears to make sure it sounds good. Lavaliers are small, delicate, and can be very expensive. This is why they often fail if not properly taken care of. So we are going to give you a few tips to make sure your lavs have a long and great sounding life. First, don't wrap the cable tightly. This is the #1 biggest mistake users make. Wrapping the cable too tight creates unnecessary strain on the connectors and the delicate cable itself. Wrap the cable loosely while not adding extra strain. If you need to get the lavalier in a smaller space, make the loop smaller but keep the cable loose. Second, get a dedicated case for your lavaliers. Keeping your lav wrapped properly and in a case can prevent damage or malfunctions on your next shoot. There is nothing worse than not having the essentials you need for a shoot. It slows you down, wastes your time, and can even wreck your sound. Anything and everything that you will need on a shoot, make sure you keep them in your bag. The absolute minimum that I would suggest you have on you at all times when using lavaliers is extra windscreens. These things get lost so easily, and without them, your sound can really suffer. I would suggest keeping 1 to 2 extra on hand. Extra mic clips. They get lost and broken all the time. Again, 1 to 2 extra on hand. Batteries. Bring extra batteries. It's a no-brainer. And last, but certainly not least, tape. Adhesive moleskin and medical tape for mounting to skin, and gaffer's tape for clothing and props. Keep these essentials on hand, and your lavaliers will be prepared for most everything a shoot or production will throw at you. And there you have it, 5 easy lavalier mic tips and tricks for better sound. Be sure to check out our other video, 5 easy ways to conceal a lavalier, linked here for detailed demonstrations and ideas on how to hide and conceal your lavalier like a pro. Also, subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this and some innovative products from Saramonic that help you sound remarkable.